just on a whim, I found this guitar on Kijiji, and it was a Squier Jaguar, and it was $200. And I went and tried it out, and I thought, well, it sounds really honky and kind of awful and nasal, and it's a horrific sound. I have to buy it. Because what happens in my day-to-day of making records and working on films and such, is that you don't always want a pretty sound. You want something that is unique or has character, or can cut through the density of an orchestra or a drum kit or all these other instruments that you're kind of competing for frequency range with. So this thing, as soon as I plugged it in, I was like, well, it has an attitude, Like, that's a sound. And on its own, it's like, well, it's nasal and it's goofy, but, in context, it can sound really good within a very narrow frequency range, which for my job is extremely useful. And for me, it's not about something that sounds pretty or great or beautiful. It's about something that sounds cool and sounds unique. And I also put flat wound strings on this thing, so it has a lot more kind of front end to the note that's kind of spikier. So for single note, kind of almost country-ish things, it's just got a really neat character to it. And then you put the goofy analog delay on that, and it gives you that kind of old school. You hear all the decays kind of thin out, which is awesome. And there's really not a lot of top end to that delay tone. So kind of that quasi slapback with a little more length to it. It's really fun. And, it's got a different chime to it. Like, to me, that's a cool tone. Like, there's nothing else really doing that in a mix. And then you can get those more kind of Smithsy sort of tones out of it too. It can be quite pretty sounding. It's a guitar that sounds like it has a cold. But so don't be afraid of cheap guitars.